Hello. So this transmission is from Avalon. I'm in Glastonbury right now, and today me and Celeste, we are on our second day of being here, and on the first day of our pilgrimage with our guide Shamia. And what really moved me was the unfolding of what led me here, and it's most miraculous. So it really started off with me meeting with Celeste, and so I met her in a somatic or embodied dance practice. I can't remember the name right now, but it's at Altered States by Chloe. And I recall when I attended that experience, I was so happy to find out that there was a fellow embodied movement practitioner in Singapore, because I didn't know of any at that time. And the only opportunity I would get moving in this way would be when I was leading a class, a workshop, or an experience, and it just felt so nice to be led, to be guided. And that was when I first met Celeste and learned that she was facilitating cacao ceremonies. And at that time, I was planning for an elemental. I'm chuckling inside as I'm speaking of this, because the presence of elementals are so strong here in Avalon. But at that time, I was planning for a retreat called Elemental Embodiments. And for Earth Day, I was wanting to collaborate with a cacao guide, a keeper of the cacao medicine. And Celeste was one of the few that I reached out to, and I planned a private ceremony. So from that experience, she invited me and my friends to her birthday cacao ceremony, and it was then whereby me, Celeste, and Vivian, our third, really connected and clicked, and we met for the first time for just the three of us in private circle on the Lionsgate portal of 8th of August 2021. And the only reason for that special dynamic of the three of us was because at that time Singapore had a rule or just COVID measure of only allowing 2 guests at any one time. So through that experience, we connected so deeply, and it was one of my first couple of experiences sitting with the medicine of cacao. A deep bond was forged, and it felt like we were remembering each other's company rather than getting to know each other for the first time. And at that time, Celeste was really encouraging me to have a daily cacao sit. And it was because even though I am a somatic practitioner, I struggle so much with feeling my sadness. I struggle so much with releasing grief, sorrow, and connecting with the physical or the physiology of expressing sadness. It has been a challenge for me. So with that, I bought like 5 kg of cacao, and my journey really started then. Very quickly, and at that time I wasn't working so much, so I had an abundance of time to just sit all day in my temple space with cacao. And very quickly, the energy or the frequency of Mary Magdalene came in. strongly, so strongly. And I recall it was in 2021, during one of the cacao sits, where I saw a vision of myself on a pilgrimage in the south of France, walking her path after her twin flame Yeshua ascended. And that felt very strong. So there was this whole plan of moving to France and to connect with communities there, which obviously didn't happen because after a while, Mexico very quickly came into the field. So I canceled all plans. Me and Cheryl were meant to go to Europe together to scout for places in which we could live in. But when Mexico came in, it came in like a storm. And that's when Cheryl and I sold almost everything that we own. And we made our way to Mexico, canceling all plans to go to Europe. And it was from Mexico. We were in Mexico when Cheryl heard that the borders of Australia were opening to the unvaccinated and also to students. And that's when she decided to go to school. She deferred for 3 years because of the closure of the borders. And it was when I was in Singapore, actually, during the transition from Mexico to Melbourne, when the spirit of Avalon came, and it came so strongly. And again, I followed. So I found our guide, Shamia, who happened to be born in Singapore and living in Glastonbury. And it felt like a hell yes. So again, like just following Spirit's call and signing up for it, even though I have no idea what I'll be doing here, and there was no expectations except to just be here. And being here has been so incredible because firstly, Celeste and I landed on National Day. Our guide was born in Singapore, and we are the spirit of the lion is so strong here, and it ties in with the lion energy from back home in Singapore. Learning so much about the ley lines of Gaia, the energies of Gaia, which I'll probably speak about in a different video. And I'll probably need another platform because this is getting too long. It's one synchronicity after another, which I guess what it has shown me time and time again is how safe it is to trust, how safe it is to follow the call of our hearts, even if we have no idea why. Certain places are calling us, certain people are calling us, certain experiences are calling us. But when we feel a call to something, it's because we are being summoned, we are being called. And when we say yes to it, the logistics of it simply just all works out, and there is no way our human brain, ego can plan for it, because it's just beyond the smallness of who we are. There is such a vast tapestry of everything unfolding. And what I'm learning now, what I'm really learning in my body, is that when something really excites us, to just say yes and to witness the magic as our path unfolds for our yes to manifest.